If we solve this problem, here's the magic of it. We change not just the cryptocurrency space, but we change the entire world. This technology isn't just about moving value around. It's about your vote, your voice, your identity, your privacy, the water you drink, the winners and losers, the markets you interface with, your credit score. Every single institution that we rely upon, from the universities to the fintech industry to the healthcare industry, in some way will be impacted and touched by the things that we build. Each and every one of you now, for the first time in your life, have a say in that. The things we build, the principles we have, if it works here in crypto, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, will percolate its way throughout society as a whole.
About 13 years ago, the blockchain's decentralized ledger system started a revolution that has now swept and changed many aspects of our lives, with many more to come. Like every new technology, it has been met with quite a few challenges. Some it has overcome, others it is still trying to overcome. However, the industry is now faced with a much bigger problem, a threat to its very core ideals and fundamentals. Just as they have infiltrated pretty much every aspect of our lives, the rich and the powerful are trying very hard to dilute the decentralized status of the blockchain industry, like they have done with Web 2 in the traditional finance industry. These wealthy individuals want sole control over the blockchain industry, but that is the exact opposite of what the industry represents. While speaking at the Binance Blockchain Week, Charles Hoskinson, the founder of the Cardano blockchain platform, lists some of the threats to the industry's decentralized status and proffers solutions on how the industry can maintain its core fundamentals. Please watch the video to the end, as it promises to be enlightening. Also, remember to hit the like button and drop your comments below. Enjoy.
Our industry is in the awkward teens now. We started with idealism. We started with a belief that we could reinvent everything, just like those who came before us. Wasn't too long ago, in the 1970s, that people were writing things like the Whole Earth Catalog, talking about how information networks, once propagated, will allow information to flow anywhere in the world instantaneously. And then comes the 80s and 90s, and then the internet delivered these promises to every consumer. And then we had to start making difficult decisions about how do we manage this internet? How do we get consumerization and commercialization? Web 2 came. And what did Web 2 give us? Facebook, Google, Amazon, these Goliath organizations that seem to know more about us than spy agencies do and have more collective power over the flow of data and your access to web services than the ITU does, the World Order does. And now we're looking at the same set of problems revisited with blockchain. And the problem is, unlike Web 2 and Web 1, there's no leader. There's no canonical company. There's no cabal of people who make these decisions for you. If we're truly decentralized, if we're truly an open ecosystem, we collectively have to somehow come together and figure this out for ourselves. We have to write some sort of constitution for these things. We have to decide what is the Bill of Rights for the use of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. If you're here just to make money, this technology doesn't matter, means nothing, and you'll lose all the things that make it special in the attempt to chase it. Because why not? It's hard. Integrity is hard. Decentralization is hard. It's expensive. The protocol complexity is extreme. So many things can go wrong. It's frustrating to have to reach consensus. So having been in this space for almost a decade now, and watching it evolve and grow from Bitcoin being at $1 all the way up over 64,000, watching it grow from just a few people, you couldn't even feed them with 2 pizzas, maybe 3, to having camel herders in Mongolia possess Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. Watching nation states embrace it. We are entering a new era. The reality is the protocols are getting good enough to really service the needs of millions to billions. On the horizon, we have high-performance proof of stake, recursive snarks, beautiful bridges with layer 2 protocols. The tech is there. or it's getting there. In the next 24 to 36 months, many of these protocols are turning on, and they're already starting to service the mainstream. When you look at some of the largest companies like Coinbase and others, they have tens of millions of customers. A few more years, we'll talk hundreds of millions, if not billions. So we have arrived at a point where we have the attention of the world. Just like in the 90s, the internet arrived at a point where it too had the attention of the world. And we must, as an industry, decide whether we wish to learn from the past or if we wish to just allow it to happen again. There are two paths before us. One, we keep our integrity and we look to decentralization. We try to define these things, understand these things. Or two, we ignore it. In which case, the winners of the conflict of the next 5 to 10 years, they'll have custodians, they'll have escrow keys, highly centralized, highly optimized consensus algorithms that could be reset at any time. The few will be in control of the many. That's just the decision. And I don't make that decision. That's why I speak about this often when I come into these rooms. All of you do. That's the true magic of this industry and what makes it so special. All of its growth, its value, its power, its applications, these things came from the people in this room and rooms exactly like it. You are the builders, and thus you are the deciders. What you choose to build on, how you choose to build, how you choose to partner, the things you value are ultimately going to decide the character of this industry.
While we see Web3 as a savior that will save us from the extreme intrusion of big tech companies into our private lives, Hoskinson explains that we might not get anything remotely close, at least not without a fight. Big tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, and Google already have so much power over our daily lives and choices. It will be quite difficult for them to just relinquish that control without trying to take over Web3 as they did its predecessor. Here is Hoskinson explaining how the infiltration has started already.
Moxie Marlinspike wrote not too long ago a great article that showed Web3 for its true nature. And in the article, to his horror, he discovered that two companies pretty much decide what you see and how you interact with something that's supposedly decentralized, to the extent that if you get delisted from OpenSea, despite the fact that your NFT lives on the Ethereum blockchain, you don't have access to it. It's file not found. Is that decentralization? Is that the Web3 promise that's being inculcated and driven into us? No. But why do they do it? Cost, competitiveness, consumerization, right? You want customers, you want money, you want low fees, you want adoption. And so that is the ugly teens, the terrible teens of the cryptocurrency space. But if we solve this problem, here's the magic of it. We change not just the cryptocurrency space, but we change the entire world. This technology isn't just about moving value around. It's about your vote, your voice, your identity, your privacy, the water you drink, the winners and losers, the markets you interface with, your credit score. Every single institution that we rely upon, from the universities to the fintech industry to the healthcare industry, in some way will be impacted and touched by the things that we build. Each and every one of you now, for the first time in your life, have a say in that. The things we build, the principles we have, if it works here in crypto, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, will percolate its way throughout society as a whole. Our ability to work together, our ability to govern each other, our ability to put these pieces together ultimately will decide what the world looks like. I, for one, would like to live in a world of peace, integrity, and a world where we keep the fruits of our labors and we can listen to each other and work with each other. But we have to figure out as an industry if that's possible, and if we solve it here, we solve it for everyone. So like I said 8 years ago when I spoke at TED, I believe the future will be decentralized. Thank you all for listening, and Have a wonderful day.
There were so many points raised in Hoskinson's speech about the industry's problems and how we proceed from here. Do you agree with him? Please drop your thoughts and observations in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.